the Science Guy. Bill Nye, the Science Guy. Bill Nye, the Science Guy.
Science rules.
Bill Nye, the Science Guy.
Inertia is a property of matter.
Bill Nye, the Science Guy.
T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye, the Science Guy.
Brought to you by Bones. Without them, you wouldn't have a leg to stand on.
Did you know, in order for me to move this arm, pick up this wonderful weight, I need to have my muscles and bones work together in a coordinated fashion. But what are the important muscles and bones? Muscles are extremely important for stabilizing our low back, but low back pain is very common. There are several muscles that we can strengthen and provide support for in the back. For example, these are our paraspinals that run right beside our spine, and muscles like latissimus dorsi that start at our shoulders, run all the way down, and connect into a sheet-like fascia near our low back. Other muscles that we can strengthen include glutes. Even though it may be low back pain that's your problem, let's not forget the muscles that work in the front, like our abdominal muscles. So these muscles that are in the front and in the back work together to help stabilize and strengthen your back. Now, let's look at our case, Larry.
This is Larry the farmer. Larry is a 56-year-old farmer who comes to see you. His primary complaint is low back pain that seemed to start a year and a half ago. Although he can't remember the exact cause of it, he describes the pain as being dull and achy, and he rates the pain at a 3 to 10. He does not report pain anywhere else. He states that his low back pain never seems to go away, and it is making farming more difficult, but it won't slow him down. He says he has lots to do, and he's a tough man who can fight through the pain. He enjoys working and feels accomplished when he's on the farm doing physical labor. When asked about exercise, he states that his wife follows an exercise program at home, but he has never thought of doing that for himself. Larry has tried ice and heat on his back, which seems to relieve the pain in the moment, but isn't making any improvements long term. He does recognize that the pain becomes worse as the day goes on, and with prolonged sitting. He also finds that lying down and resting seems to help the pain a little bit. Larry has poor posture with increased thoracic kyphosis and decreased lumbar lordosis. Larry's diagnosis is mechanical back pain, and the overall goal will be to reduce his pain and improve his function to help him complete his everyday activities of farming. Treatments will target his awareness and postural control, improve his core stability, and to increase his overall strength.
Our general treatment philosophy includes strength training, which provides the freedom to move and enjoy active living without limitations.
What does the research say? All exercise is good exercise, but when it comes to nonspecific low back pain, a study by Kell in 2009 showed that resistance training can be more effective than aerobic training in improving pain, which is most of our clients' main complaint, as well as fitness, disability, and quality of life. Due to our knowledge of anatomy and how hip and back extensor muscles work together to increase lumbar spine stability, it makes sense to choose exercises that strengthen back and hip extensors in order to treat our patient's instability and hopefully manage his pain. A systematic review in 2008 concluded that lumbar spine extension exercises are effective at improving pain and function in patients with chronic low back pain. One of the main stabilizers of the lumbar spine are the multifidi. A study in 2001 found that both concentric and eccentric contraction was needed to increase strength in the multifidi. One common exercise that puts a concentric and eccentric load on the multifidi is a deadlift. Deadlifts are a great exercise because they are easy to progress, regress, and in addition to helping with chronic low back pain, can contribute to development of total body strength according to Bird and Berrigan-Higgs. A common regression that we plan to use eventually in Larry's training program is to complete a deadlift through a limited ROM where he is able to control the movement. A study by Steele in 2013 concluded that limited ROM lumbar extension exercises are just as effective at increasing strength and decreasing pain, suggesting that no matter what range your client can work in, a deadlift can still be beneficial. According to Berglund, When prescribing a deadlift, you should make sure that the client has sufficient back extensor strength and sufficiently low pain intensity. Since Larry is already used to lifting easy loads on the farm and only describes his pain as a 3 to 10, he appears to be an excellent candidate. Phase 1, 0 to 2 weeks. Goal 1, increase regional and segmental awareness and postural control. Goal 2, decrease inflammation and irritation to achieve pain management.
One of the exercises that can be done is prone on elbows. This is a relieving position, and a progression can be to have him go on his hands. It can be held for 3 minutes, 3 times a day for 7 times a week. Another exercise is the cat-cow. This is to disassociate spinal from hip movements. Once adequate control and position awareness of the pelvis and lumbar spine is attained, progression can be 4-point rock backs to help incorporate movement into the activity. The parameters for this exercise is 4 sets by 12 reps with a 30-second rest 5 times a week. Another exercise is the hip hinge. The hip hinge is one of the most important prereq movement patterns for daily activities, strength training, and for improving motor control. Parameters can be 4 sets by 12 reps with a 30-second of rest period for 5 times a week.
Phase 2, 2 to 6 weeks. Goal 1, develop core stability. Goal 2, develop appropriate movement patterns.
These next 2 exercises are key dynamic movements and will help improve core stability and increase body awareness. The first is the dead bug. The patient is able to do 4 sets by 10 reps with 30 seconds of rest 3 times a week. The next exercise is the bird dog. It's in 4-point. And again, the parameters are 4 sets by 10 reps, 30 seconds of rest 3 times a week. The next exercise is deadlifting from blocks. In this phase, Larry will work in the range where he is able to maintain proper form to strengthen his back extensors. Parameters are 4 sets by 10 reps with 1 minute rest in between 3 times a week.
Phase 3, 6 to 12 weeks. Goal, strengthen lumbar spine to provide stability.
Now we will have Larry deadlifting from the floor. This exercise has progressed to a more functional movement for when he has to lift objects from the ground. Parameters are 4 sets by 6 reps with 1 to 2 minutes of rest 3 times a week. Another exercise for phase 3 can be the back squat. Back squats strengthen the glutes, which, by attaching into the thoracolumbar fascia, provide stability for the spine. Parameters are 4 sets by 6 reps with 1 to 2 minutes of rest 3 times a week. The farmer's carry is an exercise that involves isometric contraction of the latissimus dorsi, upper trapezius, and core muscles. It is functional as it involves carrying heavy objects with good posture. This is important for Larry, especially when he's farming. Parameters for this exercise can be done for 5 sets for 20 meters with 3 minutes of rest. This can be done 3 times a week.
Overview of the program, 3 to 8 months. Goal 1, long-term strengthening and low back pain management prevention. Goal 2, use proximal stability developed in previous phases as a base for building distal strength in order to perform functional tasks.
This exercise will be progressed by increasing the load. The parameters will be 4 sets by 6 reps with 2 minutes of rest being done 3 times a week. We will progress the back squats by increasing the load. We will do 4 sets and 6 reps with 2 minutes of rest 3 times a week. We will progress the farmer's carry by increasing load and distance. This can be done by doing 4 sets by 30 meters for 3 minutes of rest 3 times a week. A great exercise for Larry will be a unilateral row with a single-legged stance. This is a very functional task as it will mirror getting into a tractor. This exercise helps with core strengthening and stability, balance training, and strengthening of the latissimus dorsi, lower trapezius, and rhomboid muscles. Parameters will include 4 sets by 6 reps on each side with 1 to 2 minutes of rest 3 times a week. The plate squat press is functional for lifting items overhead. This is a compound exercise which strengthens the whole body. Parameters will be 4 sets by 6 reps with rest for 1 to 2 minutes. This can be done 3 times a week.
You've now seen a progression of exercises used to strengthen the back and the hip extensors to manage mechanical back pain, as well as build functional total body strength. Compound movements such as deadlifts and squats can be intimidating to clients and clinicians. However, with education and proper guidance, these exercises can be very functional and beneficial due to the vast amount of regressions and progressions possible. There is an apparent lack of research regarding low back pain and back extensor strengthening, specifically the deadlift. Further long-term research should be done to look into this and the benefits that it can provide.
Got bones in my body, or else I'd be like jelly. They help me stand up straight, so I can't perform ballet. Yeah, I got bones in my body, working with my muscles too. They let me do my ballet. And how about you? Like a true vertebrae, I think bones are great. They work with muscles too. They're in me and in you. Bones in my body. Bones in my